Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. Today I wanted to give you my thoughts on the upcoming Brock Lesnar versus John Cena match at Night of Champions. Honestly, after watching last night's Monday Night Raw, I'm having a little bit of a change of thought about what is going to be going down at the pay-per-view. I think what a lot of people are thinking is that basically John Cena is going to go up against Brock Lesnar. He's going to get squashed. And Brock Lesnar is from here on out going to basically be going and keeping that championship all the way until WrestleMania. Where more than likely a guy like Roman Reigns, a guy from the new generation, an NXT kind of guy, is going to step up, win the Royal Rumble, and then take down Brock Lesnar and bring the belt back to WWE. So many times we see like main events or matches at pay-per-views where basically we know the outcome of what's going to go down basically before we even need to see the pay-per-view. But, you know, sometimes the matches still step up and they really deliver. And even though you sort of knew what was going down and it was pretty much, you didn't even need a spoiler alert. You just knew that's what's going to happen. Maybe if you go back to before WrestleMania 28, you think of the John Cena versus Kane matches. You knew that before John Cena was going to get in the ring with The Rock at WrestleMania 28, he wasn't going to be losing matches to Kane. They needed to make him look as strong as ever in his whole career because he was going to be stepping up against probably one of his toughest opponents and his biggest rivals of his whole career. And he was saying that, you know, the match at WrestleMania 28 was sort of like the generation of today going up against the generation of tomorrow. It was one of the biggest I fucked that up. The generation of today going up against the generation of the past, or like taking down the Attitude Era, showing that, you know, John Cena was the biggest star that WWE had ever seen. There was no way in the world they were going to let a guy like Kane beat John Cena before going into that. And of course, we've seen like maybe John Cena going up at the last pay-per-view before Survivor Series. There was no chance he was going to lose the title that night. Before he was going to SummerSlam for that big dream match against John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Honestly, you know, seeing the way that they did the Superstar panel of Hall of Famers at the beginning of the show with Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, and Hulk Hogan. I know the Hulk was with Cena. Basically, they're the same character. One's from the 80s, one's from today. Sort of basically almost cartoon characters to the fact that, you know, they're bigger and larger than life, and, you know, the kids look up to him and the kids love him. He was saying that John Cena had a chance. He had to work in his WWE plug in there, as he always does, saying that basically he had seen the Extreme Rules match from Chicago back in the day, and, you know, basically he thought that John Cena had beaten Brock Lesnar once. He might have lost at SummerSlam, but this is the match that, you know, was not out of hand for John Cena to go out there and win again. This was the rubber match. This is what champions are made of. This is what legends and Hall of Famers build their careers around, is when the chips are stacked against them, it's time to step up to the plate and really deliver. Basically, Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels saw this 100% in a different direction. We got Ric Flair basically telling, you know, that John's his guy, but basically going up against Brock Lesnar, he's not the guy. But when it comes down to it, if John Cena is not going to be the guy to go up against Brock Lesnar from WWE, who's going to do it? You're not going to see a guy like Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz. None of these guys are really, you know, booked to the status of stepping up and delivering in a match against Brock Lesnar. But basically any reason that match takes place, it's going to be basically a David versus Goliath match, which Goliath is going to kill anybody. They haven't, you know, made anybody look in the light of being able to take down a guy like Brock Lesnar. I think that basically if they are going to go with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 31, they've got a lot of work to build him up to get him there. You know, basically, we got to see him beat Randy Orton at SummerSlam, getting the biggest win of his career. But that's not the big win that he needs to get to put him in that main event status. You know, I know that Randy's been a guy who's been champion many times over, but that's not the one that really puts you over the top where you're just like, damn, this guy's the man now. I mean, maybe if you beat Randy over a period of time, over and over, maybe you get to that point, but I don't think Randy Orton is a guy that is looked at like that. You need to beat Cena. You need to beat, I don't even know who else there is to beat. But basically, you just got to get there. Shawn Michaels basically portraying himself as heel authority figure. It was almost a year ago at Hell in the Cell when basically he was the special guest referee. He turned on Daniel Bryan, helping out Randy Orton and Triple H. And basically, you know, put his student in the ground to make sure that the authority in the WWE moved forward. Basically telling John that he wasn't the guy to do this. Basically, he was never going to be able to beat he wasn't ever going to be able to beat Brock Lesnar again, and that basically he should just retire and move on from here on out. I can't think of any time a character like John Cena or anybody else going up into a match would be booked at as sort of like there's no chance in the world for this to happen. I know the Hulk was in his corner and John Cena came out and he thanked him for that, but I would never think of UFC or boxing booking a main event for a pay-per-view that they wanted people to deliver. Just saying, basically, let's watch this guy get destroyed in the middle of the ring. This guy has no chance. I know that they put guys in there sometimes because they become the #1 contender and they say he's the ultimate underdog. He shouldn't have a chance in this match, but they always put that in the back of your mind that he does have a chance. Because of this fact, that they're making Cena look like he has no chance in the world, basically not living off the legacy of everything that he's done. You know, they've stacked up against Cena so many times with, I know this is not Brock Lesnar, but I mean, they've made Great Khali, they've made Mark Henry, they've made any sort of big show monster on the roster, make him look like he's bigger and he's larger than John Cena. How is John Cena going to be able to do this? And he's always able to stand up and deliver because he is WWE. If it's not going to be him, who else is there? And once again, there is nobody else out there. I know that there's going to be an argument is you have to create new stars. But if it's not for Roman Reigns, who else is really out there that they're really creating and trying to get to the top? A guy that they're pushing right now, like Alexander Rusev, he's getting pushed as a heel. He's getting made out to look like he can destroy anybody in the ring, and now they're getting over to these ref submissions by him beating up Swagger in there. But that's just sort of like a different style of push. They're just basically going to get him to the point where he's going to get fed to Cena. And, you know, we've seen this 1,000 times before with Gene Stensky winning 1,000 matches in a row on ECW, getting put over on TV and just getting crushed by Cena and just saying, that's it, it's over. Great Khali was once made to look like a monster. Every time they need to make John Cena look like he's larger than life, when he comes back from a surgery, he has to pick up Mark Henry and hit the big, FU on the guy, throwing him over his shoulder, just to make sure like, oh, John Cena's back and he's healthy and he's good to go. I don't know. I'm really in Cena's corner. I really think he's going to stand up and deliver because I cannot see why WWE would sort of emphasize so much about how much John Cena is the underdog unless he is going to stand up and deliver and win this match. I have no reason to see why. I can see them, if Cena was going to lose, they push him as the man of the company. They push him as he's beat so many guys before. Why would he not have a chance to do it? But now that they're sort of emphasizing on there's no chance in hell that he's going to be doing it. That makes me think of when basically Stone Cold Steve Austin had no chance in hell, and what do you know? Stone Cold Steve Austin stepped up and delivered because he was the fan favorite. So was John Cena. He's going to win at Night of Champions. He's bringing the belt back to the WWE, and people can say what they want, but I think Vince is going to want a champion on every show from here on out.